Colour is the most powerful tool in our interiors arsenal. You can use it to transform your home and change the mood and the whole atmosphere of a space, and in the most cost-effective way. Colour can have instant impact and can produce strong responses. Let's explore the whole wonderful world of colour with my 5 top tips. Hello, I'm Joanie Mack, and I'm here to introduce you to lots of fresh ideas, products, inspiration to create your best interiors life and bring some magic into your space. What an irony, I'm sitting here wearing black when what I'm going to talk about is surrounding ourselves with the right colours that can enhance our emotional well-being and improve our mood in a space. So many of the decisions we make in our interiors are driven by function and the necessities of daily life. Colour is a magical tool to enhance our lives, creating defined and purposeful spaces. So here are my top tips for using colour in your interiors. Number 1 is about colour psychology. It's a massive science. Yes, really, it's a science. It's about the emotional response we all have to a colour or tone and the mood and emotion that it evokes. Think about the room or the people who use that room. What do they do in there and how do you want it to feel? The simplest way to break this down is into the seasons, spring, summer, autumn and winter. And it really can be a game changer to how you think about the spaces. I already talked about bringing spring inside. I'll put a link to that in the box below. But here are the key elements to the seasons and the impact that the colours of those seasons have on a space. You want to create an uplifting and sociable space, take a leaf out of spring's book and energise with lots of natural light, an open layout and those lighter, bright tones of the season, paler woods and lots of reflective surfaces. If a calm and relaxed feel is what the space needs, go for summer's palette. Use those soft muted tones of the season and avoid too many busy or strident patterns. Cosy places to relax into and the tones of autumn are for you. Those warm, rich, intense colours create that cosy vibe. But you don't need to change the colours of the walls. Indeed, use cable knitted throws or cushions, something else to add those tones into your space. But if you want something more dramatic or edgy, then add some of the striking winter palette. But with this palette, always think about everyone who uses the space and just take some elements from the season and soften some of those striking contrasts. Which of these seasons speaks to you? I love the idea of being a winter. I just love the blacks and the whites with a few pops of brights. But actually, I think really I'm a summer, but with winter highlights. Number 2 takes me to the balance of colour in a space. And there's a really simple rule that makes easy work of the choices. 60% of the core or dominant colour, 30% of the secondary colour, whether that's in furniture, soft furnishings or even a signature wall, and 10% as a highlight pop of colour. The ways in which colour affect and alter each other too can seem like alchemy. But think about the light and the reflective surfaces in a space, and they too can change the colour and mood. Number 3, and is this really a colour? There are plenty of purists who'd say not, but white causes so much debate in interior design. White is like a blank page in a book. It's untouched, and I suppose we associate it with newness, light, freshness. Pure white home might put you on edge, it would me, but somehow could feel clinical. With the right softness of touch, the right textures in the space, you can create something heavenly though. A retreat, an elevated space that might appear simple, but is thoughtful and radiant. Gentler, softer tones of white are where I'd go with an all-white interior. And given the changing light throughout the day and the night, there will always be shifting tones and shadows to play with in the space. And ultimately, it's your space. And if you love the clean lines, the uniformity, then go for it. But just break it up a little, soften it, add in some contrast, even if, say, a gunmetal grey is less harsh than a black. Number 4 is about understanding the vocabulary of colour. tone, tint, shade. What on earth do they mean? And do they actually matter? Obviously, colour refers to the main colour family. You know, we all learned about primary colours, didn't we? So say red is the primary, then orange tones and violet tones are part of that family on either side of red in a colour wheel. Shade is a darker tone of the colour. Basically, it's about adding some black. And tint is the converse, is when white has been added. So basically a tone then is the bit in the middle. So you've got shade is darker. Think about the, a shadow. Tint, the bit of white. But then a tone is when you add black and white. So basically grey. It's when they grey down a colour. So that's a tone. The other key thing is about saturation, and that's about how intense the colour is. Vivid and bright colours are highly saturated and muted tones less so. And obviously the other big thing that is talked about is about the pigments, because some of the more expensive brands of paint have lots of natural pigments within them. Whereas if you go to get them copied, they tend to be copied with a chemical version of that. So you don't get quite the same depth, the same saturation of colour. Ultimately, what matters is my last tip, number 5. Don't let the trends dictate your colour choices. Do what you love, what speaks to you. Embrace the colours that resonate with you to create a home that truly reflects you, the other inhabitants, and your personalities. Be really honest with yourself as to which colours they are, and make those choices that make you feel happy, calm, comfortable. Be confident in your choices, and ultimately trust your own instincts. There are no rules. Come and join me on my journey through the world of interiors. Hit the button to subscribe, drop me a comment in the box, and join me next time to talk about the fabulous world of maximalism. And have a look at me on my other platforms. And I run day schools and online courses, all to do with this amazing interiors life. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.